a girl who gave Oscar-worthy performances, but Hollywood only nominated her for Best Lip Lock. She slammed a 200-pound stuntman to the ground, yet the world only noticed how low her zipper was. To Hollywood, she was just a poster girl, but inside, she was a true warrior. This is the story of a 60-year-old girl who came to act, but the world started selling her body instead. This is the story of Scarlett Johansson. In 1992, an 8-year-old girl arrived at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute with dreams in her backpack. That girl was Scarlett Ingrid Johansson, the same institute that produced legends like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And now, a young Scarlett had come to walk in their footsteps. Don't mistake her age. She was a born performer. Her emotions didn't pour from her nose, but from her eyes. When she performed monologues, even 30-year-old students would silently observe her. At Strasberg, she ingrained discipline, depth, and drama into her muscle memory. But when it came to auditions, her biggest problem became her voice. Scarlett had a deep, husky, soulful voice. Casting directors would say, "She doesn't sound like a cute girl." For her, auditions were a marathon of rejection. She'd be rejected, cry a little, and then get ready for the next one. And with that kind of dedication, how long could Hollywood ignore her? Then came 1994. At just 9 years old, Scarlett landed her first on-screen role. The film was North, and her character was Laura Nelson. Her screen time was just a few seconds, but her camera presence made it seem like she had done 10 films already. After North, Scarlett did several supporting roles, like Just Cause If Lucy Fell, Manny and Lowe, and Home Alone 3. The standout was Home Alone 3, where her sarcastic and annoyed sister act was quite relatable for the audience. Finally, in 1998 came the film that put Scarlett in the spotlight, The Horse Whisperer. She played an emotionally shattered girl angry with herself, the world, and even God. Her eyes reflected grief and trauma, making audiences cry. After The Horse Whisperer, Scarlett never looked back. From playing a protective sister in My Brother the Pig to a rebellious teen in Ghost World, she gradually found her place in mainstream family entertainment. But as Scarlett grew older, Hollywood became more obsessed with her looks. And that began a phase where her talent became secondary, and her body became the primary focus. By the late 90s, critics were calling her one of the most promising young actresses in America. Scarlett hoped that she would now get quality scripts and opportunities to act. She did get the roles, but through a lens that cropped her talent and zoomed in on her body. Her first mature performance was in Lost in Translation. Set in a Japanese hotel room, she gave a phenomenal performance, blending loneliness, identity crisis, and emotional vulnerability. Critics said she deserved an Oscar nomination, but how would she get one when the film's opening scene didn't show her face, but her underwear? An entire generation reduced her to that one scene. Thus began a formula. Put Scarlett in a low-cut dress, shoot a slow-motion close-up done. From the seductive mistress in Match Point, to futuristic eye candy in The Island, to the tragic but sexualized figure in The Black Dahlia. All her roles had one common thread: sexual objectification. This peaked in 3 films. First, Under the Skin, 2013, where she played an alien who seduces and devours men. It was her boldest and most experimental role. The film dealt with gender politics, objectification, and human fragility. But what did the audience focus on? Oh, she did nude scenes. Then came Don John, where she played an over-the-top fantasy girlfriend. The role was deliberately unrealistic, but the media didn't focus on the satire. And when award season came around, she was nominated for MTV's Best Lip Lock. Yes, lip lock. That's how Hollywood saw her. Then came Lucy, where she played a drug mule who accidentally becomes a genius. Scarlett showed she could handle action, emotion, and sci-fi. But the marketing team packaged her as a badass hot girl. Once again, talent was hidden under sexy packaging. And this wasn't just media perception. Scarlett felt it too. She said in an interview, "I was being groomed to be the bombshell type of actor. I was being prepared for it by the industry as the hypersexualized young woman. The industry was training her to be a bombshell, not an artist." Then, in 2009, Scarlett got a call. She was shortlisted for Iron Man 2. She didn't know it then, but this role wouldn't just make her a superhero. It would give her a chance to completely rewrite her image. Originally, the role of Natasha Romanoff was offered to Emily Blunt, but due to a scheduling conflict with Gulliver's Travels, the role went to Scarlett. Even before the audition, Scarlett had fully prepared. she was selected for the role of Black Widow. She believed this would be her chance to break her old image. But Hollywood did it again. Remember when Tony Stark sees Natasha for the first time and says, "I want one"? That sarcastic line reduced her character to an object. Even though there's a fight scene where she takes down an entire corridor of men, the media only remembered how low her zipper was. Scarlett later said, "It felt like I was selling a male fantasy instead of telling a story." It was disappointing, but she didn't give up. Then came 2012, The Avengers. People wondered, what would a regular human girl do among super soldiers and gods? But Scarlett proved everyone wrong. From interrogation scenes, to emotional manipulation with Loki, to her soul bonding with Hawkeye. Critics wrote, she's not just a member of the team. She is the emotional anchor of the Avengers. Her character evolved with each film. In Winter Soldier, she showed guilt, pain, and redemption. No objectification, just raw, human emotion. Then came Age of Ultron, where we saw her backstory. The Red Room, brainwashing, and forced sterilization. In Civil War, she was torn, standing with Iron Man, but saving Steve in the final battle. A true balancing force, she fought and stayed loyal. Then in Infinity War, Natasha was a ground-level commander. A pure soldier. Her suit changed, her hair was short, and the flirt and glamour were gone. Her most emotional moment came in Endgame, when she sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone. The internet hailed it as true heroism. Scarlett transformed Black Widow, from a sexy suit-wearing spy, to the soul of the Avengers. After her story ended in Endgame, Scarlett finally got her solo film, Black Widow, a project she waited 10 years for. But in 2021, disaster struck. Scarlett sued Disney. Her contract clearly stated the film would release only in theaters, and she'd earn a fixed percentage from ticket sales. But Disney also released it on Disney Plus without telling her. People watched it at home for 300 to 600 Indian rupees. Theaters were empty, and Scarlett suffered massive financial losses. This wasn't just unfair. It was a betrayal of trust. On July 29, 2021, Scarlett filed a lawsuit against Disney for breach of contract and strategic deception to boost Disney Plus at her expense. Disney responded saying, she already made $20 million. This is a self-serving move during a pandemic. But no, pandemic doesn't nullify contracts. Once signed, terms remain valid unless mutually changed. Even a Zoom call could have renegotiated the terms. But Disney didn't even try. So, what they did under the excuse of COVID was emotional manipulation, not a legally valid excuse. Finally, on September 30th, 2021, Disney and Scarlett reached a confidential settlement. But one thing was clear. Scarlett was done with Natasha Romanoff. Her statement, "I have given my heart, body, and mind to Natasha Romanoff. Now it's time to move on." When she left Marvel, people assumed she'd go back to glamorous roles. But she proved them all wrong. In 2019, she starred in Marriage Story, an emotional courtroom drama